Courage is the most important of all the virtues because without courage you can't practice any other virtues consistently. Welcome to BMC News Live English. Myself Shina Sultana joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
The Kingdom of Bahrain authorizes the use of Innovid nasal spray to treat and prevent COVID-19. UK moves Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, India to COVID-19 travel amber list. Expats vaccinated in Kuwait can now leave and enter the country with ease. Covaxin receives GMP certificate from Hungary, Bharat Biotech announced. India builds world's highest road in Ladakh, beats Bolivia's record.
The Kingdom of Bahrain's National Health Regulatory Authority has authorized a clinical study to evaluate the use of Innovid nasal spray to treat individuals with COVID-19. The authorization follows a medical study submitted by the relevant authorities at the Ministry of Health, which indicates their support for a clinical trial to take place in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Innovid will be tested on volunteers who have already been diagnosed with COVID-19 and who are suffering from mild symptoms. The NHRA noted that upon completion of the trial and further analysis of medical data, the spray will be approved for use as prevention and treatment for mild COVID-19 cases and may be sold in pharmacies without prescription. Out of 16,485 COVID-19 tests carried out yesterday, 122 new cases have been detected among 31 expatriate workers, 69 contacts of active cases and 22 travel-related. There were 124 recoveries and no fatalities. New COVID-19 rules have been announced for Mahatams, religious community halls and processions as the country marks Ashura starting next week. Women will be allowed for the first time to open their Mahatams and attend mixed sermons at men's community halls since March last year following the outbreak of the COVID-19. An expert has called for a law making a fitness certificate mandatory for people training for a sport or embarking on a vigorous exercise program. This would help identify those with pre-existing conditions or a family history of heart problems and also offer advice on the best way to take part in sporting events. The UK announced on Wednesday that it has moved Bahrain, UAE, Qatar and India to the amber list for medium risk travel, allowing travel without a hotel quarantine. All changes come into effect on Sunday, 8th August at 4 a.m., Secretary of State for Transport said in a tweet. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Every piece of jewelry tells a story. Its raw beauty speaks of its natural origins. The brilliant design speaks of unparalleled craftsmanship. Its elegance evokes the passion and energy of those who wear it. At Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
Welcome back. Dubai-based Emirates on Wednesday updated its website with the latest travel requirements for passengers arriving from India, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Uganda. This came after the UAE announced that expats stranded these countries from where passenger entry is suspended can return to the Emirates. All passengers with a valid UAE residence visa who have been fully vaccinated in the UAE and who hold an official vaccination certificate issued and approved by relevant authorities in the UAE are permitted to return. At least 14 days must have passed since the last vaccine dose was administered. Transit passengers must hold a negative PCR test certificate for a test taken 72 hours or less before departure as per the requirements of their final destination. The airline added, expatriates from high-risk countries can now leave Kuwait and return easily, provided they have received both doses of an approved vaccine from within the country. Health Minister Sheikh Dr. Basil Al-Sabah made the announcement in his press statement, adding that those who have been vaccinated outside country must have their certificates approved electronically through the ministry's website prior to the entry. This includes expats from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal and Sri Lanka, which have been considered high-risk countries in the recent past. Bharat Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine Covaxin has received Good Manufacturing Practices GMP compliance certificate from Hungary, the vaccine maker said in a tweet. Another milestone in our account as Covaxin receives GMP certificate from Hungary. This marks the first EU DRAG DMP compliance certificate received by Bharat Biotech from European regulators, the tweet added. The certificate of GMP is now listed on the EU DRAG DMP database, which is the collection of records of the European Community of Manufacturing Authorizations and Certificates of Good Manufacturing Practices, Bharat Biotech added. The Border Roads Organization has constructed the world's highest road in eastern Ladakh at an altitude of 19,300 feet, the government said in a statement today. The road has been constructed at an altitude higher than the Mount Everest base camps. The South Base Camp in Nepal is at an altitude of 17,598 feet, while the North Base Camp in Tibet is at 16,900 feet. To put this in another perspective, most large commercial aircraft fly at 30,000 feet and above. So this road is at an altitude that's more than half of that. The road at Umlinga Pass, constructed at an altitude of 19,300 feet, betters previous record of a road in Bolivia at 18,953 feet. Umlinga Pass is now connected with a black top road to enhance socio-economic conditions and promote tourism in Ladakh, the government said. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shina Sultana. Good night.